Hello, thank you for joining us today for the continuation of our series Instapage product or costumes and conversions. Some quick housekeeping items today as we get ready to begin in the next few minutes. Please, if you have any questions during the webinar, submit them in the Q&A window and we will answer them toward the end. We'll also be sending out a recording and a copy of today's deck via email early next week. And then finally, at the end of today's session, if you have any questions or suggestions of items you'd like to see in future webinars, please share your feedback with us so we can improve future webinars, ensuring they provide you with valuable action and insights. So now that we've gone over those, I hope everyone has their costume on and is ready to get started. For today's agenda, we will be reviewing some new and existing features inside of Instapage. We'll also do a live in-product demonstration and a quick Q&A at the end. Joining us today, we have Donkey Griffin from Product Marketing. We have our astronaut, myself, Michelle Barnes from Professional Services. We have our little angel, devil, I don't know, from our product manager team, Alexandra, and then our Dia de los Muertos, Layla from our customer success team. So everybody say hello. And now we will go ahead and get into our feature spotlight. So the first feature that we wanted to review today is our new accordion feature. Griffin, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, and hey everyone. So kicking off with the accordion. So this is our newest element we brought to our builder and allows you to easily create collapsible sections without any code. So the most common use case here is for creating FAQs, but really any content heavy areas, you can creatively use it to better organize your pages.
Definitely. And some use cases for those FAQs, as you mentioned, is kind of like the most common one, but also good if you have additional product details that you maybe don't want to display on one full screen, different pricing tables, and then other sections where really clean and compact presentation can improve the UX. One tip and trick for that really is to make sure that you're not hiding any information that's necessary in motivating visitors to make a decision and moving on to the next step. So in conversion rate optimization, we want to keep those motivating items visual and easy for visitors to see. And then we want to kind of tuck away information that people will be interested in expanding on. So then the next feature that we wanted to review today is our new form submission email automation. So Griffin, tell us about that one.
Yeah, for this feature, when you have it set up, it ensures every new lead automatically gets an email right after they submit a form. And this is a great example of the power of having landing pages, forms, and emails now all in one platform. Because new leads expect these emails and they act as like a confirmation to them, and they make sure that the form went through and they don't have to go back and resubmit. They just have that certainty. And so with all the tools you need in one place, you now don't have to work through another team or tool to ensure they get them.
Definitely. And I think they're great really for, like you mentioned, any sort of confirmation, but also in terms of if you're offering a case study or any sort of email opt-in where you can have them double opt-in through email, confirm that they received it and you received their information in there. Really some information around that. Confirmation emails have about a 48% open rate, which is about 2 to 3 times higher than promotional emails. So it's nice sometimes to tack along an upsell or something like that inside of your confirmation email. And then just a little case study from Indochino, they noted that after launching automated and segmented autoresponders, they saw a 540% higher revenue per email with a 340% higher conversion rates versus their original benchmark. So it really is quite powerful to make sure you're sending that confirmation. It provides a good UX for visitors. And so we do recommend implementing this if you haven't already started. So then the next feature that we wanted to review is the new developer access permission. So Griffin, what is that?
Yeah, this is a new permission we added with the release of our public API, and it allows users to use their own API key based on their organization's usage limit. So in this case, you don't need to share keys, and this allows you to ensure your account and data stays protected.
Definitely. Some use cases for this. So let's say that you have someone from your web analytics team who wants to integrate data from Instapage into, let's say, a mixed panel dashboard or a Looker dashboard. So instead of having to give them full access, you can provide them with developer access and viewer permission so they can pull that information using their own private API key. And then similarly, maybe you want to automate a publishing or unpublishing schedule for some of your pages so you can give developer or manager permissions with developer access, and they can manage that through their own private API key. The main thing there is you're granting the developer access only to those who need it, making sure that you're keeping certain API keys private. That way, in the future, if maybe someone leaves an organization, you're able to revoke that access without having to make changes to, let's say, an owner account that has a separate API key. So everybody has their own permissions and different levels based on what their needs are for using the API key in the platform. So then the last item we wanted to review is with an existing service within Instapage, which is our customer success manager. So Griffin, can you tell us about that?
Yeah, every Convert customer gets a dedicated CRO certified customer success manager like Layla here. So think of them as an extension of your team, and they are always there to ensure you get the most out of Instapage. They help you onboard onto the platform, train you on new features, provide CRO consults, and are committed to helping you exceed your marketing goals.
Definitely. And really excited to actually have Layla, who's one of our customer success managers, join us here today. So I have a few questions for you, Layla. The first one, our slide notes that the CSM helps fill in resource gaps. So I was hoping that you could share a recent situation where you stepped in to save a client's team significant amount of time or help them navigate a complex internal process.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, I think as CSMs, we do often step in as operational partners. We fill bandwidth gaps, unblock initiatives, and keep projects moving when clients get pulled in different directions. A good example was with a client who wanted to kick off a landing page redesign. He shared his goals, the target audience, and even some examples of interactive widgets he wanted to test. After the call, I documented everything in a project brief and sent it to our professional services team. A few days later, the team reached out to the client for some additional details that were critical to move forward with the project, but the client went completely silent. After multiple follow-ups with no response, the project was basically stuck. So I stepped in, I reviewed the project notes, the call recording, I gathered information from their website, their existing landing pages, and some past campaigns, and clarified the missing details directly with the internal team, and basically acted as the client's proxy to keep the project alive. When we finalized and sent over the new landing page, the client resurfaced, apologized for the silence, and mentioned that he had been tied up with other internal initiatives. He said he was really impressed with how proactive the team was and that the result was exactly what he had in mind, and he didn't request a single revision. So I think that's a great example of how, as CSMs, we're not just here to answer questions or offer help we needed. We're here to keep momentum going and make sure things keep moving forward, even when our clients don't have the time or bandwidth.
Definitely. And, that's really great. I think it really speaks to the relationship that CSMs create with their customers to understand their brands and their needs. And in this case, so much so that you were able to keep the project moving forward when your customer didn't have the bandwidth to respond. So now we mentioned, that your role also includes CRO and UX page reviews. So I'm curious, can you describe really kind of the most creative or non-obvious A/B test that you outlined for a client recently? What was the initial hypothesis? And then, if possible, can you share the final conversion results?
Sure. I think one of the more non-obvious A/B test ideas I recommended was testing a long versus a short landing page. I know most marketers prefer short landing pages with like punchy, concise copy, right to the point. They'll say things like customers don't read, they just skim. But that's not always the case. Short landing pages work great when you have warmer traffic, people who already know your brand or product. They also tend to perform best for simple products or low commitment offers like signing up for a newsletter or buying something inexpensive. But for this particular client, that wasn't the case. They were in the financial space offering a paid monthly subscription. The product was fairly complex and their audience wasn't very familiar with the brand. So these visitors needed more education and reassurance before they could convert. So we hypothesized that a longer page, one that provided more context, addressed objections, and told a clear, persuasive story, would increase user confidence and drive conversions. We decided together with the client what additional sections to include based on common questions their support team received. We also looked at competitor pages to see what they were doing and spot gaps or sections visitors usually expect to see on these type of landing pages. We then built a long form version and tested it against the short one. So the short page converted around 2.5%, and the long form version reached just over 3.3%. So that is about a 35% lift, which is a strong win, especially for a paid subscription product. So I guess the key takeaway here is that page length isn't one size fits all. It really depends on your audience level of awareness, how complex your product is, and the level of commitment or price point involved. And sometimes testing something that feels counterintuitive, like a longer page, can drive significant improvements in conversions.
Definitely. And I think the example you gave in regard to understanding the audience is so key. Someone who is in the discovery or building awareness stage of the funnel may require a lot more information before making a decision. And I've seen similar results on the opposite side of the spectrum, where looking at a remarketing audience who's already engaged with the brand, I've seen strong results shortening the copy, sometimes to only 3 sections where you have just like a hero, FAQs, and then a summary CTA. But it's always good to test to figure out what's going to work best for those audiences. So now, can you tell me more about the tailored onboarding and new feature training? Maybe share a story where you were proactive in training on a specific powerful Instapage feature that provided, a valuable capability or faster workflow for one of your customers.
Sure. Um, I think a recent example that comes to mind was when we released the collections feature. I had a client in the education sector who managed location-based landing pages for different campuses. I noticed that aside from the campus name, the address, and the campus images, the rest of the content, like the body copy, testimonials, CTA, and layout, was identical across pages. So this made it a perfect use case for collections. I reached out to the client to share my findings and I introduced the new feature to them. I explained that instead of like spending hours creating and updating each campus page manually, they could now build a single template and automatically pull in the correct campus details for each location using a built-in connected content table. I walked them through a training session, showed exactly how to set it up, and how it could streamline their workflow. The client was super happy because this feature matched their needs perfectly. They appreciated that I reached out proactively as soon as it was released and that it solved a problem they hadn't realized could be fixed. Um, So I think when a CSM understands a client's goals, workflows, and typical challenges, they can use those insights to anticipate opportunities and act proactively. So having that relationship, as you mentioned earlier, is very important for both parties because we get to know the client better and their challenges, use cases, etc. So the client can eventually take advantage of all the proactive initiatives that could uh, his CSM or their CSM offer in terms of like product training or CRO best practices or any of the other initiatives that could drive more growth for them.
Definitely. I think that's a great, study where it really touches on the efficiencies gained. You were saying that the client was thrilled because the training on collections gave them back dozens of hours of repetitive work per month. And it not only showcases how the tools in Instapage can help customers scale faster, but how having the dedicated CSM provides guidance to help them manage their workflows and create those efficiencies using the platform. But let's pivot to our last question for now. For those attendees currently handling their own landing pages, how would you describe the shift in strategic focus and long-term growth potential a marketing team might unlock when they move from just Instapage to having a dedicated strategic partner like you as a CSM?
Yeah, when team handle their landing pages on their own, their decisions are often driven by immediate needs. Like most of their time goes into execution, building, publishing, fixing design issues, or reacting to performance tips. But once they start working with a dedicated CSM, the conversation shifts from how do we get this page live to how do we create a system that continuously improves results. Because we're constantly monitoring our clients' pages, looking at metrics, heat maps, and conversion data, we can proactively spot opportunities they might miss. All our CSMs are CRO certified, and we offer monthly page reviews for our clients where we identify optimization ideas and recommendations across things like add to page relevance, copy, design, imagery, layout. And beyond that, we help them also uncover things like personalization strategies, ways to streamline workflows, and uh, different ways to take advantage of new Instapage features that would help them launch faster and scale their campaigns. We also make sure they're aware of new CRO trends, best practices, and research that can inspire fresh testing ideas. And whenever Instapage releases a new feature, we flag exactly how it fits into their setup so they can move faster without adding complexity. So having a CSM is not just extra support. It is having a partner who is always looking to help your campaigns perform better and streamline your workflow so you can continue to achieve better results. And the more you involve your CSM in your CRO strategy and share your goals and context, the more value you get. When clients don't meet us regularly or keep us in the loop, it naturally limits what we can do to help. But usually we try to keep that relationship going so we can provide as much value as we can.
Awesome. Thank you, Layla, for everything that you've shared today. It really paints a compelling picture of the value of the partnership, that having a dedicated CSM can help in changing the team's focus from reactionary execution to proactive optimization. So you mentioned that a key part of your role is guiding customers to streamline their workflow and learning about how to use new features. And I think now would be the perfect time to look at some of the new features we discussed earlier in the presentation. So let's go ahead and transition to our in-product demonstration. And while Alexandra guides us through the new features, if you have any questions for Layla or the rest of the team, please remember to enter them in the Q&A window and we will answer them toward the end. So moving over to you, if you want to go ahead and share your screen, Alexandra.
Yeah, hello everyone. So let me share my screen. Yeah, Okay, just a second. Yeah, and let me demonstrate you our new features. So let's start from accordion feature. So let me show you how it works and how you can add accordion feature to your pages. So here I have a page. So, and you can add accordion feature here from our sidebar, and you can find it here, accordion. So, and before you add accordion to your page, you need to select first the block that you want to use for that. And so we recommend to use fluid grid block for that because it automatically adjusted for the size of accordion. Let me demonstrate how it works in case when I add accordion to a fluid grid block. So here I have, and you can see that it was adjusted to the size of this block. Or I can move it here, and it will be smaller just because of this block is smaller. And in case when you add accordion to canvas grid block, okay, let me add a canvas grid block here. And now I move my accordion to canvas block. Okay, just a second. Okay, let's do this way. Yeah, you can see these notifications here that you need to reserve a space for accordion expansion. So we made it before, like canvas blocks, they're not adjustable automatically for content that you put in this block. So that's why I recommend to use fluid grid blocks because, okay, it saves your time and you don't need to adjust your canvas blocks for this block site, and also like you don't need to think about this space for accordion expansion. So let me show you how this accordion looks like. Here I prepared some version of accordion. So you can see here I added some text and this accordion. So what you can do. Here you can see I have 4 sections, and if you need to add more section to your accordion, you just need to go here and click on this accordion. You will see accordion style settings, and here you can add additional section. You can find it here, and yeah, if I want to add any content, so I just put headline here and some content. I just deleted my accordion. Okay. And here my headline. So what else you can do with your accordion? So here you can add or remove sections, and you can also select where it could be visible, desktop, mobile, or only desktop, only mobile. And also there are some settings for margins or size, and also additional settings inside here. You can change color for your accordion. For example, yeah, let's remove background for this accordion. And also I can change arrows colors, for example. So yeah, and if you use your accordion for fluid grid blocks, it will be automatically adjusted for mobile as well. Yeah, it's here. So basically that's it what I can share with you about accordion. You can ask your questions and we can move to next feature.
Yeah, I think we had a question earlier that I think would be good for everyone. They asked, will we be able to put images into the accordion at any point? So would you be able to answer that for the rest of the audience as well?
Yeah, sure. Like for now, it's limited only by text, but like, yeah, we have plans to improve this accordion and make it able to add there some additional elements like images or links or some other elements. Yeah, but for now, it's only for text. And if you still need to have accordion with images, you can use a custom code for that. Okay. If you don't have any more questions about the accordion, we can move on to next feature, and I show you automated emails trigger. So let's imagine that, yeah, I have a mail that I want to send to my customers right after they complete the form. So yeah, we create this email in any way you prefer. And then if you go to settings, you can find here this new section automation. So, and when I click here, you can see we have recipients and we have schedule. And when I click off, when I click on, you will get this notification that those sections will disappear just because, like, yeah, we don't have recipients in this case, and these emails will be sent automatically. So basically, when you create a form and you want to notify your customers right after they complete this form, or you need just a quick follow-up, you can use this feature. So what we've done here, we just select an email and we set up automation on for this email. And now I can click activate. And you can find this email in list of my emails with status automated. It means that when I want to use this email on any of my page, I need a page with a form. Yeah, let's go here. So I have my form here, and yeah, when you go to this, when you edit this form, you can find in settings here email automation. And when I select email from this list, I believe it's this one. Yeah, so once any email automated, it will appear in this list of automated email, and you can select this specific email for every form you want to connect it. So once it's selected and updated, when I click updated, it means that every time someone completed and submitted this form, this email will send automatically to this person. What you need to remember about this feature is that it's limited by number of emails you can send during the day. So it means like if in your plan, for example, included 50 emails that you can send during the day, only 50 emails will be sent. And 51st email won't be sent, but you can find it in list of your contacts, leads, and then you can send it manually from there. So currently we're also working on some feature just to create a queue of those recipients who haven't had this email yet. Okay, I believe, yeah, that's it. What can I tell you for now about this feature? And if you have any questions, yeah, let me know. And we can move on to our next feature, what is developer access. So developer access means that you can give an access to any of your team member, and this person can use their own API key for using while they're working on your workspace under your limits. So, and you can provide this access to any of your teammates, just go in here in workspace settings, and here you have team members. So, and you just need to invite this person here. Mhm. Okay, yeah. Before you send this invite, you need to select a role for this person. So it could be viewer, editor, manager. Same when you just invite someone in your workspace. So, and it's quite the same what they can do with your pages or with your data account, but just like here using API, yeah, viewer can view some analytics and leads, editor can edit pages, integration, and manager have like the biggest level of access, so can publish something and invite other people. Okay, and here you select a role, and then you just need to switch this grant developer access. And when you send this invitation, yeah, this person accept it, and later you can change this developer access. You can disable it, or you can change a role for this person as well. Okay. And we have one more place where you can invite someone and share this developer access. It's like when you have a page and you just share it with someone for share some feedback and commenting. And here, like you can send invite, and you will see the same user interface for that. Just put your email and select a role and grant developer access. So I believe that's it what I can share. And yeah, if you have questions, let me know.
Thank you, Alexandra. So we did have a couple questions come in. The first one in regard to the email autoresponder, they asked if they're able to include any attachments in the email when they send an autorespons.
So it works, this feature for emails works in the same way as it currently work. And I'm not sure if it's still able to include any attachment, but like, yeah, for now it's not able. Yeah, but probably it will be added soon, I would say.
And I recommend in that cases, like a simple workaround would be just to add like a link, a download link from the email when the auto response come in. So if you have like an asset or something that you're trying to attach with it, then just including the download link with a link to like a PDF or something like that for the visitor. The next question is, are you able to send automated emails based on a contact being added to a list versus only being attached to a form?
For now, it's possible only by being attached to form. But there is probably some also workarounds that someone from customer success team could share with you.
Okay, thank you. And then does developer access adding a user from there, does that take a user seat inside of the platform? So like some people have limits to maybe only 10 users. If you're providing someone a developer access, does that use one of those user seats?
Yeah, correct. Like it's limited by your limits in your account in your workspace.
Thank you. All right. Well, I do not see any other questions coming in, so if you wouldn't mind providing the screen back for me.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Let's see. All right. So as we kind of wrap up things for today, I just want to notify you that if you are interested in learning more about some of these features and you're not a present Instapage customer, or you want to learn more about the convert features and you're a self-serve customer, you can schedule a demo by using this link here, bit.ly/ip-demo-7. If you're an existing customer and you'd like early access to some of the features that we have coming out to provide feedback on those and making sure that we're providing value to you in the features that we're releasing, I would also recommend signing up for our early access program by visiting bit.ly/ip-early access. And then I want to thank everybody for joining us today. The next webinar we have on the books will be on December 11th, where we'll do an annual roundup of all of our features that we've released throughout the year, including overview on emails, collections, new global elements, the API, and we may even share a few new features that we're going to be releasing this quarter. So we hope to see you there. And again, thank you everybody for joining us today. We hope you have a lovely day. Stay safe during the holiday, but have fun as well.